Saving money is an art form, and some people get really creative with how they save money. They'll find food in dumpsters, make food in a dishwasher, and look for loot in the car vacuum station, and yes, it all sounds very crazy. But are these people onto something? I watched a few episodes of Extreme Cheapskates, and I found myself a little bit surprised by how effective and efficient some of these methods were. Take this video, for example. Cooking a 5-star meal with dumpster food.
I'm a foodie. I love everything to do with food. I think people can enjoy a foodie lifestyle on a cheap budget.
I'm a floor guy. I sit on the floor, and it's very comfortable.
So already this gives us a great look into who we're dealing with today. We're dealing with Ron, and Ron is a floor guy who likes to eat eggs on his wrinkly egg-eating rug. Ron's premise of thinking people can eat a foodie lifestyle on a cheap budget is honestly kind of a good one, and I'm sure a lot of people can get behind it. But there's this contrast happening of him making this very interesting claim, and then we're shown the shot of Ron looking like he's on house arrest in a newly built home. And even though this might be a little bit strange, is Ron onto something? Is he Ron to something?
What I did was I found some 2x4s, and these are styrofoam peanuts. So I just take all the peanuts, throw them in there, and then I cover it up with bubble wrap, and then this is a tablecloth, and it makes a perfect bed.
I'll admit, at first it doesn't look like they're doing a good job at convincing us that Ron is a credible source, even though the packing peanut bed is kind of a major life hack. But I also can't imagine that's comfortable either. I imagine you would just wake up in the middle of the night sunk into the packing peanuts and just engulfed by your sheets. You'd literally need the Coast Guard to get you out of that situation. But let me offer a rebuttal, if I may. They are just showing us how amazing he is at saving money. Listen to how much he's saving here.
The average cost to furnish a one-bedroom house is $2,000, and clothing expenses for a single professional can reach $400 a year. Ron spends a total of $20 decking out both his house and his closet.
1, 2, 3 shirts and 2 pairs of shorts, and that's it. And by the way, I own no underwear and no socks.
He was a little bit too proud of that statement. Last time I checked, nobody's handing out any awards for not owning any socks or underwear, Ron. There's no one doing that. But if we just completely ignore the fact that he only owns 3 shirts, 2 pairs of shorts, no socks, and no underwear, he's saving a lot of money. It's kind of impressive. But now we have a pretty good idea of who Ron is, for better or for worse. Which leads us to 2 big questions. 1, how is he gonna make this 5-star meal? And 2, are his methods effective? Well, the first step to answering these questions is asking how did he get his ingredients?
People in Southern California go to the beach a lot, and the most important thing is they drink wine, and they throw sometimes bottles out that contain wine. When I find any, I'll pour it into the tube. It's going right into the box.
So the first step to making a 5-star meal on a cheap budget is just finding half-empty wine bottles in a trash can on the beach. If you don't think about all the gross people who've probably touched that wine and drinking from it, it's a pretty effective method of saving money. And efficient. And not only does it save money on wine, it could save money on any liquid your heart desires. Just find it in a trash can. Honestly, shame on us for not thinking of that sooner. I hope you're taking notes though, because we are moving on to step 2.
These are lamb's quarters, a weed that's completely edible, part of the spinach family.
Fresh cilantro costs about $1.99 a bunch. By picking wild herbs and vegetables growing in the cracks of the street, I would say I save at least $40 a month.
$40 a month. Now that's a deal if I've ever heard one, and I've heard a lot of deals. Why would you buy fresh produce from the store when you could just walk around Los Angeles picking up random produce from the cracks in the ground and possibly be patient zero for a new disease? Nothing, and I mean nothing, sounds more appetizing than that. But let's move on to step 3, finding the protein of your dish.
Excellent. Oh, yeah. Lots of lobster. Look at this. This is a gold mine, man. The shells are great. You know, you throw them into a pot of water, and all the meat will boil right out.
Look at this. I mean, who leaves the table like this? Wow.
No way he just ate that straight from the trash. What if the person who was eating that before him had some strain of the common cold that turned you into a pigeon. What then? It'd be pretty embarrassing. I also like how he's mad about people locking their trash cans.
Oh, curse these people for locking their trash cans.
But anyways, that's step 3 of gathering ingredients for a cheap 5-star meal. Just to recap, find liquid and trash cans on the beach, get fresh produce from crevices in the ground, and find your protein in back alley dumpsters. It's really an easy 3-step process. I'm sure any professional chef that's worth anything would recommend it. And I bet you're saying to yourself,
Jordan, how is Ron going to make a 5-star meal out of these ingredients?
well, I am so glad you asked. Very glad you asked, actually. We're not just looking at Ron anymore, we're looking at Chef Ron, not Chevron, Chef Ron, and he is teaching a cooking class.
All right, well, thank you guys for being here today. What we're gonna be doing is we're gonna create a really great dish that is my specialty, and I think you'll enjoy it.
So this is the first true test of Ron's credibility. He has everyone in the cooking class ready to do whatever his bidding is, and I can't help but wonder if they know what they've gotten themselves into here. Like, what was the advertisement for this cooking class? Is the class called something like Cooking on a Budget? Or was it something like Cooking with Ingredients I Found on the Streets of Los Angeles? I feel like the first one has a little bit better of a ring to it, but Ron is the professional here, so I'll leave that to him. But the class's first order of business, trying the trash can wine.
It's really nice.
That's excellent. That's really good.
So how cheap a wine can we actually go?
I spent nothing for this wine. Got it out of the trash can.
I just poured out whatever they didn't drink. It's not like they drank it and then spit it back out. They didn't get to it.
The wine it's a little sketchy, but I never would have thought it would have been as good as it was.
This whole part is a personal favorite of mine because he gives everyone the wine, they just start drinking up and enjoying it, and then after they drink it, Ron's like,
Yeah, I found it in the trash.
how would you even respond to that? And I thought for sure somebody was gonna get up and leave after he said that, but everybody stayed. And not only that, but they actually enjoyed the wine. But like, imagine if someone threw up after he said that. That'd be really embarrassing for him. It would probably be a big ego hit. But look, so even though his methods were what some people might call a little bit weird, everybody seemed to enjoy it, and he pretty much got it for free, if you don't count the cost of his dignity. But will that hold up for the other ingredients? Ron and his students begin preparing the dish using tuna instead of lobster for the meat. And at one point, Ron makes a whisk out of a coat hanger, and then he puts the lobster in the oven and begins serving the food.
You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people to feed. This entire meal cost us less than $5 total.
Very good, very good. Wow.
I enjoyed this dinner actually a lot. It didn't have no strong fish taste to it. It didn't taste like tuna at all.
All of the greens that you're eating grow wild through the sidewalk. I was picking off the side of the street.
Ron's method of unveiling his ingredients is unmatched. He has them eat the possibly rancid ingredients, and then after they eat it, he reveals where he gets them from. And everybody gets a little bit weirded out, but they still continue to do whatever Ron tells them to do, which they have a lot of faith in Ron. For all we know, he could pull out another ingredient and be like,
I got this ingredient from the sewer lines right outside my house, and I'm saving infinite money. Ha 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 ha.
I actually enjoyed the meal a lot. That's the irony part about it, that you find out that you basically were eating everybody's leftovers, but it turned into a great meal.
Ron's methods certainly seemed a little bit out there, and personally I'd rather be shot than try any of these, but you have to admit it was at least a little bit effective. At least a little bit. Crazy, but effective. And even more so, everybody seemed to enjoy it. So Ron's cheapskate ways were effective, arguably, but is this the case for other extreme cheapskates, or are we gonna be disappointed? Well, I can guarantee that there will at least be a little bit of disappointment, but maybe effectiveness too. Let's see. She cooks lasagna in the dishwasher. Okay, cool, but how does that work? I feel like that's just not the way it works. I feel like it just isn't, but I guess we'll see.
I do believe that laundry detergent does run a scam on people.
This is a very strange sight for my eyes to be looking at. This looks like a mix between a drug lab and a hotel laundromat, which to be fair, I'm sure there's a market for that. But that's not exactly what I had in mind for this. Not to mention that after Stephanie washes her clothes, she collects the dryer lint and uses them as cotton swabs, and even uses them on her face. And honestly, I can't tell you if that's genius or if it's just gross. Probably somewhere in the middle. Let me know what you think. Otherwise, I might just become an extreme cheapskate. But that's not where her money-saving techniques stop.
By using just one light bulb that she moves from room to room, she saves more than $60 a month on her electric bill.
She doesn't want to spend nothing. It's just ridiculous.
but...
Are you seeing what I'm seeing here? They have a single community light bulb, and I imagine that has to be super inconvenient at times. Like, what if you're trying to wash dishes, but then I have to use the bathroom? Who gets the community light bulb? And that's an ethical dilemma if I've ever heard one. It's the trolley problem all over again. All I know is that one of us is gonna be in for a wild ride.
In our house, we have what we call Navy showers.
I'm not allowed to take long showers because Stephanie wants to save water for the water bill.
Why is he sitting on the toilet with just a towel? Was there really not a better place or time to film this interview? And was Patrick just cool with it? Was he about to get in the shower and the director was just like,
hey, let us record an interview of you on the toilet real quick. It'll make for good TV.
And I guess he agreed. But this is where Patrick takes what are called Navy showers, which is where he has to wash his body, turn the water off and put soap on himself, and then turn the water on to wash himself again. And then if he doesn't do this, Stephanie yells at him over a baby monitor. Let me show you where the true art of her money-saving craft is, though.
This is my reusable boiling water. Yes, I know it may be a little chunky, but it saves me from spending more money on my water bill.
She has reusable chunky boiling water, which is super smart because with all that money she's saving, she can go to therapy after seeing that chunky boiling water, because I know I definitely need to. I'm ashamed that I had to see that water. I still want to know how she makes lasagna in the dishwasher, though. Let's be honest, that's why we're all here. But that will have to wait because Patrick wants to have a football party. Stephanie won't let him because it will cost money, which is very sad. But then she says she loves Patrick and decides to let him have a football party, which is awesome. Let's go football party.
Probably only need about 3 of these. My bananas, I'm not going to eat the whole of the banana. I eat the banana itself.
By removing the peels, pits, and stems from fruits and vegetables before they're weighed at the register, Stephanie saves up to $3 per shopping trip.
I have never seen anyone peel bananas and put them in a basket. That is weird.
Is she allowed to do that? I feel like that's definitely against some sort of store policy. Good thing Paul Blart didn't see her doing that. He would have taken her down. I also like how they just interview some random lady too. Did they just walk up to her and ask,
what do you think about the lady who peels bananas before she buys them?
But hey, let's start talking about the lasagna now.
By any chance, if you have any other ground beef that's already leftovers?
It's all sold. We sell it on a daily basis, fresh all the time.
Okay, and so there's nothing that would expire?
Oh, no,
or
man.
about to expire?
No, man. We don't sell expired product here. No true meat market would ever do that.
She for real just tried to buy almost expired meat for Patrick's football party. And the way the guy responded is also super funny to me.
No meat market would ever do that. That's the dumbest question ever.
After a bit, she ends up buying 1.97 pounds of meat for a little over $2. Good deal. And now finally, after eons of waiting, we get to see how she makes her famous lasagna. Well, at this point, it's famous to me. I don't know about you, but I've been waiting for this. Don't ruin this moment for me.
Now, to save money, I multitask with washing dishes and cooking meals with my dishwasher. I just gotta make sure I wrap it really well or else the food will get wet.
I'm not sure if that's the way I expected this to go, but I can't say that I'm surprised. She's literally going to wash dishes and then cook lasagna in the dishwasher at the same time. She's living in 4023 and we're living in 2023. Kind of embarrassing. For us, not for her. It's definitely embarrassing for us.
With the dishwasher reaching a temperature of 170 degrees, the lasagna will be fully cooked in 1.5 hours without using the additional gas of an oven.
She truly is a great thinker of our time. How did she ever think to put lasagna in the dishwasher? That's a Reddit life hack if I've ever seen one. And I've seen a lot of life hacking on Reddit. Too much on Reddit. But when Patrick wants lasagna, he gets lasagna. Even if you have to use the dishwasher to make lasagna. So finally, party time comes and everybody's watching football. And anytime a commercial happens, Patrick has to turn off the TV and everybody gets mad. There's also a community candle in a can that they have to pass around. And at one point, this lady has to go to the bathroom and she has to use the light. And then comes the lasagna. Will Stephanie's money-saving technique be effective or will it be a flop? And by flop, I mean, will they hate the dishwasher lasagna?
Yeah, it's good, right?
To be cooked in a dishwasher? The lasagna tastes like water. W-A-T-E-R, water. Nasty.
I think it's safe to say they won't have a football party at Stephanie's house again. Honestly, why didn't they just have it at somebody else's house to begin with? Somebody who wouldn't make lasagna in a dishwasher. But I think it's safe to say we're 1 for 1 on effective cheapskate methods, or 0 for 2, arguably, I guess. Maybe. Depending on how you're looking at it. But maybe this next cheapskate family will change your mind. This cheapskate father is ruining his kid's life. That's very strong language. And I know things aren't boding well from the title, but maybe this will blow our minds. Who knows? We might be pleasantly surprised.
right, let mommy do that side over there. Sir?
Yes, sir.
I was vacuuming there, and I think my wife lost her earring. Is there anything you can do for us?
Yes, sir, absolutely.
I mean, it just went right through, so.
Yeah, no problem. It just goes right in here.
Okay. All right, kids.
Kids, come dig through this vacuum trash now.
That's pretty wild that they do that. I mean, there can't be really anything of much value in there. I don't think. I've never done it, so I don't know. But I do feel like there's probably a pretty low chance of finding a diamond or something of the sort.
The kids love going to the car wash because it's like a treasure hunt for them.
Did you find the earring?
We have found earphones, jewelry, change, of course, a lot of change.
Yeah, there's a mint there. Pick it up. Get it.
We had found candy. Is it open?
No, it's sealed. It's sealed.
So it's okay to eat?
Yeah.
He just said that with the most serious expression possible.
Yeah, the vacuum mint's good. We'll save it for later.
And I love how they're just making the kids do it. And the employee is just watching them do it. And I'm so curious to know what he was thinking when the dad said they should take the mint. Like, there's definitely got to be some funky stuff going on with that mint. There's probably a whole alien civilization colonizing on that mint. That's how gross it is.
The two older kids now, they used to do it when they were little.
He'd said, hurry, hurry, get the nickels, get the nickels.
Quarters, right there.
And then at the end, my dad would just place something there and be like, oh, look, we found it.
Let me see. 1 second. I think I got it. This is it, right?
Yeah, that's it.
We got it, kids. I'm sure maybe one day they're gonna have their own kids doing this, so we pass the torch to them as they did pass the torch to the little ones now.
I feel like I can say with high confidence that that won't be the case. There will be no passing of the torch for digging through the trash. I just don't see that happening. But imagine if of everything you could have inherited from your parents, you get the ability to effectively dig through the trash. Like, what if that was the only thing you inherited? Ron would probably be thrilled. Also, what's the point of including this shot in there? Did some silly guy just want to add that in as a little gaff? But look, even though this might be a little bit unorthodox, I've yet to see how this dad's ruining his kids' lives. The family ends up going to a diner to get food, and Raul is determined to save money, so everybody orders water, which is healthy, good choice. But then the kids put extra lemon in their water and sugar in it to make lemonade, and they split 2 club sandwiches between all of them, but it doesn't stop there.
Whenever we go out eating, there's always something for free. If I'm with my kids, we get tons of samples of whatever it is and just bring them home, and it's great.
The waitresses think we are psycho. They give us the dirtiest looks I've ever seen in my life.
Ready?
Ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
I don't think my habits are extreme. They're just regular. This is the way I am, so nothing is extreme for me.
I'm not sure the logic holds up there. Just because it's normal to you, it doesn't mean it's not extreme. I could eat 1 billion gummy bears a day, and maybe it's normal to me, but it doesn't make it any less extreme. That's an X Games level of hardcore right there.
As a family of 6, we consume lots of water. Bottled water can cost $1 per bottle. If I was buying bottled water from my family, we're talking more than 100 bottles a week. Instead of buying new bottles of spring water, I just keep the old ones and I refill them with tap water from the hose. And then just to create that magic final touch, what I do is I use this non-toxic clear nail polish. So when you open the bottle, it makes that magic clicking sound, so they think that it's brand new.
My dad, he thinks we don't notice. I notice right away. Kids fall for it, though. It works.
It gets me so frustrated thinking that it's a brand new water bottle. It's something that I just struggle with a lot.
Okay, cool. So nobody's fooled by the water bottle trick, but everybody thinks everybody else is fooled. Nice. But I've still yet to see how this dad is ruining his kids' lives. And that's what I'm here for. I want to see some lives ruined. For a considerable amount of time after this, the story focuses on them having a barbecue, and it's pretty janky, but everybody seems happy.
Despite how cheap he is, I love him to death. He is the cheapest big heart I ever know.
I don't think my dad will ever stop being cheap because I feel like I've only been alive for 11 years, but if he hasn't stopped in 11 years, I think it's pretty much hopeless.
Having a good time is not about how much money you spend, it's just about the people that you're with.
Having a good time with them, of course.
And everybody's having a great time, as you can see.
Everybody's having a ball. a great time, a blast, if you will, and I did not witness any ruining of kids' lives. And that seems like a positive to me. And sure, the methods we saw might not be the most effective, according to some people, but they worked for these people, and honestly, I'd say some of them weren't even that bad. Maybe like 99% not good, but there's still that 1%. It's somewhere, I don't know where, but that 1%'s in there somewhere. But what did you think? Were you pleasantly surprised by some of the tricks here, or were they just all around awful? Comment below and let me know what you think. But other than that, check out this video right here. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.